Greetings traders. This is White Collar Forex, the home of professional trading. Right, so in today's video, we will be talking about how to start Forex trading as a beginner in 2026, right? And I'll be telling you guys how to do this the correct way, right? This is the way that I would advise any beginner to do it, and this is the way that I wish somebody had told me how to do it, right? So first off, let's start by addressing some of the mistakes beginners make when starting out with Forex trading, right? So number one, joining multiple Forex trading groups. That is the worst thing you could ever do, because this not only wastes your time, but it just causes a lot of confusion because you don't really know what you're doing, and you're receiving an influx of a lot of information that just will ultimately lead to information overload, right? So number two, reading multiple PDFs and watching random YouTube videos. Again, this has no direction whatsoever. You will be just intaking a lot of information, again leading to confusion and also information overload, which just will lead you to wasting time, essentially years of your life, right? So also avoid that. Number three, learning useless information like Forex terms instead of a strategy, right? So as a beginner, you end up falling into the trap of wanting to learn every single thing that you can get your hands on. For example, Forex terms like what is a pip, what is margin, just things like that. Also, you end up learning a lot of patterns and candlesticks that you ultimately will not use, right? So avoid that also. Number four, following Instagram Forex traders with flashy lifestyles. So this will just put unnecessary pressure on you and give you a false image of what Forex trading is essentially, which is a business more than anything. Number five, focusing on how to make X amount every day type of videos, right? So these videos are just unrealistic. Don't focus on videos that teach you how to make X amount in 2 days or how to make XX in a month. Those are not realistic videos and are just going to lead you down a very not so profitable path, right? Number six, strategy hopping, right? So strategy hopping is basically changing strategies. This will lead you to spend years not seeing any progress because you're changing strategies essentially every month. So that's my issue with strategy hopping. Number seven, chasing trending systems and robots. Right, so you know how the Forex industry is. There's always a trending strategy, a trending robot that people are just marketing for the sake of making money for themselves. So stay away from this. And yeah, right, so you need to learn price structure instead of doing this. Number eight, focusing on short-term trading. So most people might disagree with me, but I believe that you should learn long-term trading instead of short-term trading. And lastly, treating trading as gambling instead of investing. Right, it also goes back to the last point, the previous point. Focus on this as a long-term game instead of short-term flipping of accounts and basically gambling. To me, that is gambling, right? So now that I've discussed the mistakes that most beginners make when starting out in Forex, let's go into how to actually start Forex trading as a beginner the right way, right? How I wish I did it, how I did it in order for me to start seeing progress in my trading, right? Number one, follow 1 to 3 traders who trade your chosen strategy. So this removes any confusion and it also sharpens your skill, right? So follow people who trade like you and only them, right? Number two, learn structure and supply and demand. Guys, this is the backbone, the building blocks, the essence of what the market is, right? Without structure and supply and demand, there's no way for you to read the markets, right? Especially structure. Structure is the backbone of the markets. most strategies are based on structure, even though most people don't know or may disagree. But this is a fact. Structure is everything. Number 3, focus on steady growth over fast profits, right? So this is self-explanatory. Number 4, focus on higher time frames. Price is clearer on the higher time frames, right? So we only trade the higher time frames, right? My team and I in the group, we only trade higher time frames because it's much clearer and gives us higher probability trades. Number 5, don't depend on indicators and systems, but use the indicators as confluence, right? So don't depend on them, rather use them as a way to build confidence in terms of entries, right? And lastly, focus on one strategy and backtest for 1 to 3 months, right? So when I did this, a lot of things started changing from when I started seeing a lot of progress in my trading, right? So now you might be thinking, okay, with all this information, how do I now build a profitable strategy using all this information? And don't worry, guys, I am here to explain exactly how to build a profitable strategy using exactly how my team and I trade, right? So here's how to build a profitable strategy in Forex trading as a beginner in 2026. The right way, the way that is going to make you profitable or see significant change in your trading. Number 1, choose 1 to 3 pairs and master how they move, right? So you need to know how they reverse, where they reverse, common patterns and so forth, right? Common candlestick patterns that appear and why they appear, where they appear. Once you master this, trading becomes extremely simple, right? Number 2, use high time frame for direction, right? So what we do is we use high time frame to look for direction, right? And how we look for direction is we look for structure and supply and demand zones, right? So number 3, use high time frame zones for direction, goes back to the last point. And number 4, use structure for direction and entries, right? So we use structure for both direction and entries. I will explain when we go into the charts a little bit later on now, right? So we use time frame alignment to refine entries, right? So refining entries is basically using the smaller time frame to get trades that are lower risk, meaning a tighter stop with higher reward. Number 5, we use zones as stop loss and take profit references. And lastly, we use confluence to enter trades with confidence. Right, sorry about that, with confidence. Right, so what are the benefits of us trading like this, right? Number 1, low risk, high reward entries. Number 2, higher probability trades, higher win rates, higher risk to reward ratio, allows us to grow a small account all the time. We've been growing accounts using this method for the past 4 to 5 years, and we're able to hold and enter trades confidently using this method. We're able to invest small to make more, which is essentially what trading should be about. Since I did say trading is a business. In a business, you want to invest small to make more, right? So this strategy allows us to do that. Now, lastly, the strategy works on all tradable instruments, right? So now, guys, now that I've gone through all these points, it's time for us to actually go into the charts so I can explain to you guys how we actually trade. And luckily enough, we are actually in a trade as I'm making this video, right? So let's go into the charts quickly. Right, so guys, this is a trade that we are currently in, right, using our strategy. This is the Euro USD, and we've been holding this trade for a while now. So let's actually get into the trade and how we trade using what I just explained, right? So now let's go back. So this trade is actually based on the monthly, right? So for context, I'm just going to be a bit quick about it, but you will get the point, right? So this is the current zone that is in control on the monthly, right? As you can see, it was tested, and then after it was tested, we now know that we are in a downtrend. Supply is in control and the monthly is in control, the monthly supply, right? So we won't enter on the monthly, right? Because we would have a huge stop loss, as you can see. So with a small account or even a reasonable account, it would be difficult to enter this trade. What we do is we use time frame alignment, which tells us that if we spot a trade on the monthly, we will use the daily for entry, for the weekly 4 hour, daily 1 hour, and so forth, right? So at the test, right, our first trade would have been here, right? But we didn't take that trade. Well, we did, and we closed it a while ago because price became a bit choppy for us. But okay, as always, price gave us new structure right here, which was a lower high, right? And what lower highs do is they leave behind zones, right? So this is a supply zone on the daily. Now that we know that the monthly is in control, so we're in a downtrend, monthly supply is in control, so we look for smaller entries or smaller supply zones that we can enter and take advantage of the fact that the higher time frame is in a downtrend, right? I hope I'm making sense, right? So this is the zone that we actually entered on, my team and I. And also same rules again, time frame alignment, refining our entries to get a smaller stop. We scrolled to the 1 hour, right? Now we're on the 1 hour. Let's look for the trade, right? On the 1 hour again, within that daily zone, that daily zone, we looked for another supply zone after the test, and we found it here, right? There we go. Price tested it and played around a bit and consolidated, and our stop loss would obviously be here, right? So as you can see, price played around but never hit our stop, right? And then what happened? Price dropped, right? As you can see, the EMAs are for confluence. When the EMAs are broken and also structure is broken, we know that we wait for retest and then we enter. So we entered the trade and we have been holding for, I think this is the 3rd week now and second month since today. July just opened a new monthly candle, and yeah, so we entered this trade right here, and then we just trailed our stop loss because it has been going on for a while. So here we entered also another trade right here, right? So this was a compounding trade, and yeah, so basically this is how we trade using supply and demand and structure. Simple, straightforward, high probability, low risk, high reward. As you can see, we are trying to grow this small account and we are actually doing well. So 110 to over 1,000 rands, right? So as you can see, it's high reward, low risk, right? So now what I will be looking to see, right, is a break of this weekly structure here, leaving behind a zone, and then a retest. But now we're just taking advantage of the drop that will be causing the break of structure, right? So that is what I'm looking out for, and then I will be taking my trades according to that, right? Now let's go back to our notes, right? So yeah, these are some of the strategy results here. A team member of mine was able to flip 500 rand all the way to 10,000 rand, which is a 1:20 risk to reward, and it wasn't a very risky trade. He wasn't risking that much. Okay, he was kind of over leveraging, but the entry was low risk, high reward because the stop was very tight, and he wasn't going to lose a lot had it gone the opposite way. But it didn't, because we look at high probability trades using the higher time frame and refine them, right? So 500 Rand to 10,000 Rand. And this was one of our trades that we took a while ago. We held the trade for 2 months, right? So you can only hold trades for this long if you know what you're doing and you are confident and you know where you are going, what you're targeting, right? So that's how trading works. So yeah, guys, I think that's about it. I hope you learned a thing or two. If you do have questions, comment, and also don't forget to like. And if you do want to ask questions personally to me for inquiries, here's my WhatsApp details. On Facebook, I am USD King, or you can join our free group using the link in the video description. And if you want to get your hands on our Structure First ebook, which teaches you this entire strategy, so if you just want to jump into learning this and you're tired of blowing accounts, the link to get the ebook will be in the video description. Once again, guys, thank you for watching. This is the White Collar Forex Academy, home of professional trading. See you guys in the next video. Adios.